Hey, good Sunday night. Normally, I get to say Sunday evening, but it is full-blown nighttime right now. So I hope y'all have had a wonderful weekend. Just checking a couple of settings here since I have changed up some things with the program that I use to go live. So if you look above in the description, you will see a little thing from a program called StreamYard. And if you make comments or when you make comments on the video, then I will not be able to see your name if you don't grant StreamYard permission to show me your name. All I will see is Facebook user. So I won't know who's commenting unless you give StreamYard permission to tell me you are commenting. Well, we are inching closer and closer and closer to Christmas. I am finishing up Christmas orders. Christmas orders are officially closed. So if you were wondering, well, she's still taking Christmas orders. No, we are wrapping them up as of tonight, and we will be seal coating the last of the Christmas orders tomorrow, and some will be shipping out either tomorrow or Tuesday, and some deliveries will be made. So we are wrapping things up for the Christmas season. So, still taking orders, of course, but it will not be for Christmas. Those will be delivered and taken care of in January. And there will be, if you order anything this weekend, we'll have a little more time added onto it because I will be taking some time off to enjoy Christmas with my family. So just keep that in mind. If you place an order this week, it will be probably mid-January before I touch base with you because I'm taking some time to enjoy with family. So, well, tonight we are sticking with our Christmas theme one more time. We're going to get one more in there. And this one is a gingerbread house. I actually sold a gingerbread house door hanger this past Thursday at a little Christmas market that I did. And so I had my little gingerbread house there, one of the door hangers. I didn't have a lot of the door hangers on display since it was just a Christmas market. I took a few of the Christmas door hangers that I had, and we took some tea lights and some Christmas ornaments. Sold quite a few of the Christmas ornaments. And I'll tell you, nativity has been the theme for this year. When we had nativity tea lights at the pecan festival we did at the 1st of November, they basically sold out. I think, no, I don't think we even brought one home. I think we sold all of the ones that we took with us. And this past Thursday, the nativity ornaments were very popular. Now, we have some ornaments left if you'd like to purchase any of those before this weekend. We will be officially shut down coming up this weekend and going into next week, getting ready for Christmas. But ornaments, I put a post on a little bit earlier, a few hours back. It's so funny. My daughter a while ago was saying, "Does it seem like we've had 3 days in one day?" And I'm like, "Yes, because we've changed gears a couple of times, it does seem like we've had 3 days in one day." So it's it's been one of those busy days. So that was one reason why we shifted the Facebook Live to now. So have to do that from time to time, especially this time of year when you've got so many different things going on. But we're going to work on a gingerbread house tonight. So let us get started. So that way we won't be here burning the midnight oil on the Facebook Live. All right, so I'm going to start out and I'm going to do the icing first because I'm going to go with white on the icing. If you're wondering what some of the orders have been throughout this Christmas season, oh goodness, we've had some Santa Claus, we've had snowmen, I had a very large snowman that the biggest piece I have ever done. Um, I'm getting ready to finish up a fourth one tonight. So they're 30, 37, 38 inches tall. So, yeah, very big snowman. But I've had a lot of fun doing him. He's been different. He's been a learning experience, and I'm hoping to maybe add some things in 2022 that are bigger pieces, bigger as in size pieces, and so it be more like yard art type things. You may see a post from me maybe tomorrow asking y'all's opinion on the yard art. So take a second or two, just make a comment, even on this video, if you want to go ahead and comment now and just tell me your thoughts on yard art. Do you think that was something you would think is interesting? Just trying to gauge. I know I have some folks that are already telling me, "Oh, yeah, you do yard art? I am putting an order in." So I know I've had a few things mentioned for next Christmas. So, but I'd like to do some things that can be used year round. So, or for different times of the year. So, not just Christmas yard art, some other things. There's one that I want to do just after the first of the year. And I may actually do it on a live. If I do, the camera setup will be definitely different because those pieces are so big. Um, Goodness, I'll have to work on a setup for that one because that y'all my space. I'm gonna change camera views just for a second. So right now it looks all neat because all you can see is me and and the gingerbread house. Okay, you see all these paints here? They are slowly but surely creeping over into my workspace. And what it amounts to is I have been working on Christmas orders. And so, the cleanup process um, has just kind of been put off. I have put back some paints, but there have been a lot of paints that have just been left. And so, yeah, we uh, we are going to spend a lot of time cleaning in January. Let me tell you, there's got to be some organization done. I think I have officially outgrown my paint caddy, which is on this side of me, and it's a tiered tray. It's a big tiered tray. I got it on sale from the local one of the local craft stores, and I was all excited when I found out it was 50% off because I was like, man, I'd been looking at it for a while. Man, I would really love to have that to put my paints on, and it's one of those deals where you just kind of you talk yourself out of buying it. You know what I'm talking about. You go in, you look at it, you carry it around the store, and then you're just like, I don't know, we got such and such that's got to be paid this month, or we got such and such due this week, and you talk yourself out of it because it's for you. It's not for your kids, it's not for your husband, it's not for your parents, it's not for your aunt, it's not for your grandmother. It's for you. And so you talk yourself out of it. So I did that more than once, and then it showed up 50% off. And the light bulb went off and went, "Oh." So I got it at 50% off, but I am outgrowing it, and all of these are just my space is getting smaller and smaller. So I have got to do some work here. Let me I actually like that other view better, but I know y'all can see. I really wish I could zoom in a little bit. I'm also thinking about doing maybe a couple of things different with the new year on cameras and camera angles and all that good stuff. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. I like the other one because of the other angle where I'm smaller because I mean, the whole thing about what's on my crafting table is about what I'm painting, not about my head being in the shot next to it. I keep rubbing up against all these paints. I'm telling y'all, I feel like they're just edging me out over here. I'm like, okay, it's time. We are gonna if it doesn't start happening this week, it will definitely happen after the holidays. We will definitely be working on getting things cleaned up. All right, so I'm gonna back out and let y'all watch from this view. Like I said, if I could zoom in a little bit on the gingerbread house, that would be perfect. All right, so we're gonna have white icing on this one, but I may add sprinkles. So my last one had pink icing. I went with pink icing on it. All right, I got to add some more to my candy canes. Now, in case you're wondering, why is she not staying in the lines very well? Well, I'm not too worried about getting the white everywhere because the white will be covered up, or around it will be covered up. And so I'm not too worried about not about staying in the lines with the white. Basically, all I want to do is make sure I have a good cover of white so the icing is nice and white. And I may need just a little bit more. I'm so sad I'm not going to have a time lapse of this. If y'all have been checking out the reels, y'all know I've been going crazy with reels and time lapse. I'm not going to have a time lapse of this one. My tablet is having some issues. And so I didn't get a chance to try to fix it today. So I will not have a time lapse of this one. I enjoy doing time lapse. I guess I'm addicted to that. I don't know. I don't know. One time I was talking about time lapse and I made the comment maybe I'm addicted to it because it looks like I get an awful lot done in a short amount of time. All right, I'm gonna do one more. This is either third or fourth coat. And I know it looks weird up here way I'm painting, but I'm having to do the brush kind of strange because of the way that all my paints are stacked up over here. And I tried moving them just before I started the countdown. Now I did push them back a little bit, but I get in here and get busy on things and I don't realize that they're slowly but surely taking up all the space. All right. This will be the last round, and we will move on to another color. Not sure if I'm going to use this brush again or not, but I'm going to hold it off to the side just for a second. All right, I am going to use a honey brown and do the gingerbread part. So we're going to go ahead and get that into the little paint, into my egg carton here. And what I'm probably going to do, let's see if I can shift some of these around, push a few of them back. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start probably about halfway and work my way down, and then I'm going to rotate it around. I'm also at the last day. I was talking about Christmas orders being closed. This is also the last, we're in the last 24 hours for any paint party box orders. So that's the only thing that is, that's got a few more hours on it. Any Christmas orders are officially closed now. Unless it is Christmas ornaments, because those I already have in stock. Make my way around the little candy cane. Start bringing our little gingerbread house to life. I started to do it as dark chocolate instead of the actual graham cracker color. And I thought, no, I did the last one kind of a non-traditional color. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do traditional for this one. White icing and the graham cracker crust look, or the graham cracker house look. The little circles will be my peppermints. So I'll get to them here in a little bit. Using a filbert tip brush on this one. It's nice because it works well with the curves going around like the icing and all. I'm trying not to mess up and get my sleeve in my paint. Oh my gosh, y'all, the other night I was up kind of late working on I wanted to get one finished. And so it was like, okay, I can stop and pick up tomorrow, or I can just hang out a little longer and get it finished. So I was hanging out. I was like, okay, we're gonna stay up. We're gonna finish this one. I do that from time to time. And so I was hanging out. I was finishing it up, and I have no idea what I did. I was trying to think. I had what was I using green for? Oh, I had a it's called foliage green. So it's kind of a not real bright green, but a lighter green. And I had it on my hand, on my fingers. Anyway, I did this because my nose was itching. So I did that, and I immediately went, "Oh no." I have gotten it all over my hands, I've gotten it up my arm, I've had it on clothes, even had it my daughter discovered I had yellow paint between my eyes one time, and, but I had not pulled that one until the other night, and I sat here going, "Well, another first for the books." Alright, so I'm gonna spin this around just because I try to paint with it right side up as much as possible, but there are times when it's to me, it's just easier just to spin it around and work on it from a different angle rather than trying to paint across or over the top of what I've already done. And I have started from the top, but I and worked my way down so that way I don't cross any paint. But I've discovered that that when I work from the top down, I'll come back later and I will have missed some small little area or getting right up to the line. And so I'd rather spin it around and work on it. I know it looks crazy because it puts it upside down and sideways and all that good stuff. But all right, so I'm going to move this up a little so that way you can see. I'm going to get the chimney. And then I will go and put a second coat because I think everything from when I first started is dry. So I'm going to start with a second coat and get him covered. So spinning back around and start here about midway is where I started. So everything Christmas is starting to wrap up. I know we still have a little time before Christmas, and some of you may still be doing last minute shopping, or maybe you couldn't find exactly what you were looking for and you're still trying to find that one or two last few things. Or maybe you're like some of us and still waiting on deliveries. It's so crazy. I was looking at one of the packages that's coming the other day, and one of them I ordered because it said it would be here this week. Great, perfect. The other one was kind of iffy, but I went ahead and ordered it anyway. Well, I checked yesterday. I haven't checked today. I checked yesterday, and the one that was supposed to be here this week is now coming later, and the one that was coming later may be here this week. So, or yes, it will be here this week. It gave me a definite date, and I'm like, oh brother. So not real sure what happened, but it happened. They got flip flopped. So what I'm hoping for is that they just both show up and all is good. So I'm taking my time around the window. And I'm just turning the brush sideways so that way I can get in the small space. All right, so now I'm going to spin him around and get the other section, and then we can start adding some red and maybe some pink. Maybe we'll do some pink gumdrops over the doorway. I've got some like gumdrop looking things over the doorway here. All right, I think we're just about done with our graham cracker look here. All right. Turning back around. And next, I'm going to start with the red. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the candy cane and on my peppermints. And I am going to get a small, just round tip brush for this. And I am going to start working on the stripes. So I'm just going to, not measuring any of this, because I mean, I could be very precise. I don't know. To me, sometimes it's just, I don't know, I have more fun when I just kind of eyeball it. Means everything comes out unique. And I know it kind of looks a little weird right now. And what it amounts to is I have to get the black outline put on there. You could even come back on the candy canes if you wanted additional stripes. You could come back on the candy canes with a very thin liner brush or a toothpick, and you could actually add some very, very thin lines in between the thick lines for the candy cane. All right, I have a couple of candy canes down here. Now these two cross, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and decide which one is gonna be on top. And I'm going to start working on the lines for that candy cane. And then I'm going to go the other way with the lines for the candy cane that is in the back. All right, so we've got our candy canes taken care of. I'm going to come around to the top half because to me that's going to be easier for doing my peppermints here. Now with the peppermints, I'm just going to start in the middle and I'm going to create just like little spirals. Well, the beginning of spirals. Let me rephrase that. The beginning of spirals. And then I'm going to come back and fill them in. And no, they're not going to all be the same size. And that's okay. And you could make some of these really skinny. So I could come in and maybe just take a couple of lines and just leave it at that. Not fill in a big space like I did on that one. And so that way you could have different peppermints. You could even you could come back with a thin red line on these, or you could do some of these green. So I could go up one side with red and down the other side with green, or I could mix them. I didn't mix it on this one, but you could mix them. You can make them with more pinwheels, as I call them, or with less, where you have bigger peppermints. I think I'm gonna make another bigger one here. Make sure I'm almost off camera. So that one only has 4, and some of these have 1, 2, 3. Some of these have 5. 1, 2, 3. That one has 6. So you can change it up. Your peppermints be different. I may do green on those 2 that are on the other side of that window, just so I have a little variety. I could have taken a pencil and just kind of laid out a little bit of a more even structure with my lines, or pattern with my lines, I should say. But sometimes I find it more fun just to jump in there and just do. Just jump in and see what we can create and see how it turns out. All right, so one more peppermint here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change to green and do the 2 on the window, on either side of the window, in a green color. Oh, that peppermint. I spun one the wrong way, but that's okay. Just means he's a very unique peppermint. I'll come back in a minute and add another coat to those. I am going to just grab the green and just come straight out of the top on this one because I don't have but the 2, and I don't want to put a whole lot in my egg carton and then turn around and not use it up. I haven't seen any of the green peppermints so far. Of course, I haven't been in a whole lot of places, and I haven't been looking for green peppermints. But I know I stopped one day and got some peppermints for a party, and all they had were red. I guess that's probably eek. Um, see, paint. I guess the red's probably the favorite or the most popular. Finish up these two green ones, and then I'll go back and touch up the red. My candy canes look pretty good. I'm not sure I'll have to do any touch up on them. I'm gonna look over real quick. This one has a couple of places where it might could use just a little bit more. They look a little thin, but up here actually looks really, really good for the first round. Normally, I do not get enough paint on the first round. No, my peppermints are not perfect, but that's okay. They just make my gingerbread house special. And I may come back later and add a little single line in between my big pinwheels or spirals. And it'll give it just a little more of that peppermint candy look. May have to add a little more to my green. I'm gonna blow a little heat on those just to make sure. I'm gonna get the bubble gum next and get the gumdrops done. All right, finish up my green here, and I'll have my two green mints taken care of. And like I said, we can do the gumdrops, and then I think I'm going to do dark chocolate over here by the chimney. I got to come up with a door color. I'm open to suggestions if anybody wants to pipe up and mention a color for the door. What would be a good color? I've seen all kinds of different colors oh, from various pictures of the gingerbread houses. What's some popular colors that you have seen on gingerbread houses? We'll go ahead and add the dark chocolate here. That way our chocolate will be taken care of. because this will take a couple of coats. I'll dry that real quick. So I have seen pink frosted, um, gingerbread houses. I have seen chocolate for the house itself. I have seen blue doors. I have seen pink doors. I have seen chocolate doors. All right, so there's our dark chocolate on our chimney. Get that dried for us. Now I'm going to go to bubble gum. I think I'm going to take it out of the lid as well. I'm not going to put any in the carton. I think I can probably, I don't know, I might have to, may take a little more than what I thought. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes when I'm doing door hangers and the easel art and different pieces, um, if it doesn't seem like it's going to be a whole lot of paint, I'll just shake it up real good and just dip out of the lid. Some people may find that interesting, but it, I hate wasting paint. I really do. I hate wasting paint. And of course, last year during in 2020 during shutdown and stuff, when everybody was at stay at home mode and stores, um, not all the stores were open. Getting paint was sometimes challenging. And so you had to be thrifty minded, be kind of a conservationist of the paint, or else you would find yourself without certain colors. So I'm going to put another coat of bubble gum, and I think I'm going to go with a blue door. I am probably going to hit this color. It's called Laguna. Go with that, and I will probably do yellow windows. Yeah, we'll go with yellow windows. Make it look like there's light inside. And then I need one more color to go around the door. So I've got to get a couple of colors here. I'm going to finish up the little gumdrops here, or the little candies. I call them gumdrops. They may not actually be gumdrops. They're gumdrops to me. Finish them up with bubblegum pink. I could have done them in different colors. Each one could have been a separate, a separate color, but I decided to go with just all pink on this one this time. It's like picking out all of a certain color of M&Ms. I just decided to pick out a certain color. All right, I'm gonna change and go with a little bit bigger brush, and I am going to, let's see, find a certain color yellow that I want. Uh, Fiesta. What is this one? Sunshine. Let's go with sunshine yellow. Get my handy dandy little egg carton here. I think I'm gonna need a little more of it, so I'm actually going to put it in the tray. I think this will be a good size for that one. So I'm just going to paint over, you can see the window lines. I'm just going to paint over the window lines because I'm going to go over those with black. So I am not worried about uh, getting color on them. So I'm just going to paint it all yellow. That'll speed up the process instead of me having to color each little square. And this window here, with it being shaped the way it is, you could have done that in different colors and had it have a stained glass kind of look. That would have been interesting. This color yellow, I will put a second coat on, but it just gives it the look that there's light in the house. I'm going to add it to the door here. Dry it just a little bit, and then we will move on to putting on a second coat. I've got my base down here, and I'm debating on what to do with it. I may do it in white, just as if it's sitting at a bed of frosting, which would be snow. Still thinking about maybe adding some sprinkles. Not 100% positive on that, but the thought has crossed my mind. Depends on how quick I get through with the rest of it. Our little gingerbread house, all bright with light, looks warm and like it just says, "Hi, everybody, come on in." All right, so the door I said I was going to do in Laguna. So I'm just going to dip out of the lid on this one because I don't have a lot to cover with the door. I could have done the door in green or orange. I'm going to do in blue. I do still need to figure out. Oh, you know what? I'll do that in dark chocolate around the door because I've only got a little bit of dark chocolate and that's at the chimney. So, and it will take 2 coats of the Laguna to cover the door. So we're in the countdown to Christmas. We're also in the countdown to the new year. It's where we start thinking about New Year's resolutions and how many of us will actually take part in New Year's resolutions. I remember being in school and doing the New Year's resolutions before you took uh, Christmas break, or you would do them right after you got back from Christmas break. Our teachers would always encourage us. Now, in 6 months or a year, come back and look and see if you actually fulfilled your resolution. And I think just betwixt and between so many years of writing things down and not actually fulfilling them, uh, I just got to a point where I don't quote unquote do resolutions. I will sometimes jot down some things that I would like to see change or be improved on in the next year. And I know you're thinking, but that's a resolution. Well, I guess my mindset is it's not a resolution because I don't come back and go, oh, well, I didn't fulfill what I had written down. It's things I'd like to see happen or change or get accomplished, but there's not the, oh, I have to get my resolutions accomplished list. All right, back to dark chocolate. And on this one, I'm going to actually put some in the egg carton and go with that. Do just a little bit in the lid. I'm not going to. I've actually just been using a round brush on a good bit of this, just so I wouldn't have to do a lot of changing flat to sideways on a filbert tip or a flat brush. So a round brush, I can just get in the skinny little spaces, tight spaces. I think I'm just going to let this go underneath as a base as well. Let it be chocolate brown or dark chocolate brown as well. Get around the door. I think it's dry enough. I can go ahead and start with the second coat and get that squared away. And then we'll almost be to the point where we can start with the outlining. Get it outlined and finish up our gingerbread house for this evening or tonight. I'm so used to saying evening. All right, last side. And I'm probably just going to leave the bottom white. Like I said, it'll look like it's the snow. So we're going to leave this part down here white. And I'm going to go back to my smaller liner type brush. And I am going to start outlining everything. And you could pick a different color other than black to do the outlining on, but I'm just going to stick with black outlines. Got water on my brush. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle and just work my way down or toward the top of the house. And then I'll flip it around and go in the other direction. Just outlining the sections. Getting it where it's divided up, where it has the definition. If you've just tuned in the last little bit, I made the official announcement that Christmas orders are officially closed. We are wrapping it up this week, getting the last of the orders shipped out and or delivered or slash picked up. And then we will be resting for the Christmas holidays and then picking back up in the new year. Just going around all of our little pieces that make up our gingerbread house. Did the frosting under the window, and of course did the window. Now I'm working my way around the peppermints. Can't forget the eaves of the house. And then, of course, we'll do around the edge as well. Even if you're watching the replay and you want to comment on any of the questions I throw out there from time to time, just put hashtag replay. I'll know it was in the replay and I'll answer, reply back, or if you're voting on what I asked about earlier about bigger pieces slash yard art, then I'll put your vote in. I had a few custom orders come in for bigger pieces, and I have considered doing yard art. I wasn't going to put it in this year because we're still in the process of doing some setup and different things, and so but sometimes when things are requested and you've been wanting to try them, it gives you that perfect excuse to just, okay, let's jump in here and see what this is like. So that's what I did. I had a request for a custom piece that was bigger than door hangers, and I just jumped in and got me to looking at what it would take to do the bigger pieces. Also gave me an idea of time-wise, what it would take. So it's one of those things where you sometimes you need to get pushed off into the deep end. Otherwise, you may stand on the side of the pool forever going, yeah, I really want to try this. I really want to try this. And you just keep standing there. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has ordered from us over this past year, whether it was Christmas orders or graduation orders or general seasonal door hangers, or maybe it was baby announcements, nursery door hangers, hangers for inside rooms. We've done a few kids' rooms hangers this year. Thank you all very much for your orders, for your support. I know we're getting close to the end of the year, and I didn't want it to slip by without saying thank you very much. My family and I greatly appreciate it. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. I will take a couple of weeks off from doing the What's on My Crafting Table. As I mentioned, we'll be taking some Christmas time and enjoying time with family. Rest up and ready to come back and get going and in the new year. Holidays can be incredibly busy for us all. Not just for me, but for us all. It's good if we catch our breath every now and then. So I am going to do my best to take a little bit of time and catch my breath. And by doing so, hopefully the creative brain cells will kick in strong for the new year. Sometimes by the time you get to the end of the year, you've planned things, and it's not just with business, it's with any part of life. You've planned things, you've organized things, and you get to the end of the year and you're just like, oh my goodness. Your creative side is just spent. So I'm hoping with a little downtime, we can have some creative energy build back up. Get going in the new year with some new ideas and create some new door hangers. I'll still be getting templates from uh, a little template club that I joined, because I don't think I'm quite to the point where I can come up with a certain number each month just yet. So I still want to keep growing my library and making sure I have lots of options when you contact me and say, hey, I'd really like a door hanger for this particular season or this particular event. So I want to make sure I have plenty of options that I can send your way. So I'm not going to rely solely on my creative designing side just yet. I'm going to keep adding to my template library throughout the year. and then hopefully adding my own designs on a regular basis. I think that would be neat. That's something I wanted to start doing last year, and there were just other things that needed to be accomplished in the realm of getting things off the ground and taken care of. Thought I got my sleeve in paint for a minute there. I was like, uh-oh. Which wouldn't be the first time that I was wearing a new shirt or a newer shirt and stuck my arm, sleeve, or the front of my shirt in paint. I was white coating one the other night, and lo and behold, bless goodness, what did I do? I leaned over it to get something out of out of one of my jars here. It was either a brush or a paint pen, and I covered the front of my shirt in white paint. So everything had to take a time out so I could go change shirts and get spray and wash on it and try to get it, try to get the paint out of my shirt. If y'all could just be a fly on the wall on some of the things that maybe one day I'll record a whole day of me painting and just put together a blooper reel. Do it in time lapse mode. I still really am kind of bummed that I'm not getting this in my time lapse. I actually had forgotten that there was a glitch with the tablet until just a little bit earlier, and I thought, "Oh, man." I knew I wasn't gonna have time to try to get it straightened out before I did my live. Hopefully by next week, I will have any of the glitches out and I can get back to doing my time lapse videos. I like posting those as reels. I've had quite a few people tell me they enjoy watching. It's so funny because I seem to have a group that a little a little gathering or following group, however you want to term it, that that finds it relaxing to sit and watch me paint on Sunday evenings. And then I have a group that they love to catch the reels in the double time, and they find that relaxing. So it tickles me. I enjoy the painting. I enjoy doing the time lapse. Like I said, it's to me, it's just really cool. I thought about even when I'm doing orders, and it's not the Facebook Live. I've even thought about just setting up the tablet and doing time lapse on orders that I'm doing, and that would give me even more time lapse videos to choose from. All right, so we are just finishing up our outlining here, and then we're going to call it a night. Just going to finish going around my candy canes and the last little bit of the roof that I didn't get earlier. And then we're going to take a quick look at it, make sure that I did get everything except for the bottom plate down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and go over the bottom one more time in white before I do the outline of the bottom area. Gotta get a baby wipe. I stuck my finger in the black paint around the window down here on the bottom. And so now, of course, I've transferred it to the main part of the gingerbread house because I stuck my finger in the paint. And I just have to work with it and get it picked up. And I will probably go over that little section again with the honey brown. So that way it doesn't have a little bit of a mark where I drug black paint across it. What's so crazy is I have just this little bit of section left and not enough black paint to finish it out. Reminds me of the chip and dip dilemma. If you're not sure what the chip and dip dilemma is, it's where you get chips and dip at get together, party, whatever, and you get down to the end and you have no more chips, but there's still dip. So now you have a dilemma. Do you throw away the rest of the dip or do you go get more chips? And then you get more chips, and the next thing you know, you've run out of dip, but you still have chips. So here we are again in a dilemma. All right, so there is our, I'll pull back up here side by side, brings it in just a little bit closer. And I may do just a little bit more. I may go back and do outlines on my peppermints. I think they'd probably look a little cleaner with some black lines on there just to bring them in from the, let's see here. I'll do one just to show you what I'm talking about. So you can bring it in and it just kind of cleans up the look. So I'll probably go back and add those in. So that way we have a clean look on our peppermints. And I could actually do that in a different color than black too. I could take a little bit darker red, and probably a toothpick would be better on that than that brush. It's a small brush, but it's still not really, really skinny. So I may take an even thinner brush or a toothpick and work around my peppermints and get those squared away. All right. Well, before I, knock off 40 more things and destroy half the table here, I've already knocked over some paints a while ago when I turned it around. I didn't realize they were that close. But um, well, thank you so much for joining me tonight and hanging out with me, watching me paint my little gingerbread house here. I hope you have a great week, and I will be posting pictures of this once I get it all finished up with the little bit of white down here on the bottom and outlining it. And I may put, well, I'm gonna put some highlights on here somewhere. So I'll add those in probably tomorrow, and I'll start posting pictures probably by Tuesday or Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week. And again, thanks for watching.